Let us debate with AI and see what it has to say about the nature of reality. Today, I'm going to be doing an interesting experiment with AI and ChatGPT. I will debate ChatGPT from my perspective and from my worldview of Advaita Vedanta, and I will ask AI to converse with me with its understanding of materialism and the general scientific worldview. Through this interesting debate with AI, we will test the boundaries of AI and we will understand and grasp the nature of reality better. Namaste Maya. Today I have an important job for you. I want you to debate me on the nature of reality. I will talk from my understanding and from my worldview of Advaita Vedanta, and you defend your position through your understanding and through the data that you have on materialism and the general scientific worldview which is prevalent within the world. Do you understand your assignment?
Understood. You'll present the Advaita Vedanta perspective, and I'll defend the materialist viewpoint.
Okay.
Let's begin.
Now, as per Advaita Vedanta, the entire universe is an expression within consciousness, it is an appearance in consciousness, and it is consciousness. What will you say to this?
From a materialist perspective, the universe is composed of matter and energy, governed by physical laws. Consciousness, in this view, emerges from complex interactions within the brain. It's not fundamental, but a product of physical processes.
But has this been proven anywhere that consciousness is produced by matter?
The exact nature of consciousness remains one of the biggest mysteries in science. While there's significant evidence linking brain activity to conscious experience, a definitive causal relationship where matter produces consciousness hasn't been conclusively proven. This is often referred to as the hard problem of consciousness.
Okay, so science has not yet explained or proved that consciousness can be created or is created by matter. Am I right?
That's correct. Science has made strides in understanding the correlations between brain activity and conscious experience, but it hasn't yet provided a complete explanation of how consciousness arises from physical processes. This remains an open question in the scientific community.
From my perspective, when I look at reality, Advaita Vedanta makes perfect sense, and I will give you a framework to think about. This framework in Vedanta is called Avastatraya Viveka. When we wake up, we enter this world, we engage ourselves in different activities, we talk to different people, and at the end, we come to home and we sleep. And as we sleep, we begin to dream different dreams. And even within the dream world, we engage in different activities, we do different things, and then we go to the deep sleep state, which is Sushupti. And then again, we wake up and the same cycle continues. What Advaita Vedanta asks us to do is to look at these three states as simply three states of existence and to see what is the common factor among these three states. And if we go along this line, our awareness or consciousness is that which continues in and through all these three states. So, whether it is a scientist or a philosopher, the only thing that he can be totally sure of is consciousness, because I exist is what I can say with absolute confidence. Apart from this, everything else is a assumption or a secondary conclusion based on my existence. So through this, I think Advaita Vedanta explains the nature of reality better. What is your counter argument to this?
Your perspective highlights the centrality of consciousness in experiencing reality. From a materialist standpoint, one might argue that while consciousness is indeed fundamental to our subjective experience, it could still emerge from complex arrangements of matter. This view relies on the idea that consciousness, like other emergent phenomena, arises from the interactions of simpler elements. In this case, neurons and neural networks. While we haven't fully explained consciousness, materialism focuses on observable, testable phenomena, aiming to uncover the mechanisms behind these processes. In short, while consciousness is central, the materialist view seeks to explain it through the physical structures and functions that we can study and understand.
But more and more scientists are now talking about the simulation theory. Scientists are talking about how this entire universe can be a simulation, and we might not simply be aware that it is a simulation, right? Because our sensory perceptions is something that the brain experiences, and we are not sure whether it is a simulation or it is an actual reality. This is what happens to us even when we are in the dream state. We assume that the dream reality is real, but once we wake up, we say that it was all an illusion and this waking reality is real. But we have not questioned the assumption that this waking reality can also be a simulation. In this questioning and through this kind of thinking, what Vedanta challenges us to do is to think about reality and question our assumptions and see how only consciousness can be fundamental and our own existence can be the fundamental truth that we can totally be sure of. What will you say to this?
The simulation theory does resonate with the Vedantic idea of questioning the nature of reality. It suggests that our perceptions might not reflect an objective external reality, but are constructions, much like dreams. However, from a materialist viewpoint, one might argue that whether or not we live in a simulation, the physical world we interact with follows consistent laws and principles. These allow us to make predictions, develop technology, and improve our understanding of the universe. While consciousness is fundamental to our experience, from a materialist perspective, it emerges from and is shaped by the physical world, even if that world might be a simulation. The focus remains on understanding and navigating this reality through empirical evidence and reason.
But the empirical evidence and reason, everything can be ultimately in a simulation, right?
Yes, that's a possibility some proponents of simulation theory suggest. They argue that empirical evidence and reason, while essential tools for understanding our world, could be part of the simulated environment. This challenges the notion of an objective reality independent of our perceptions. From a materialist perspective, this notion would push the boundaries of current scientific understanding, suggesting that our quest for knowledge might ultimately reveal the underlying nature of this potential simulation. Regardless, the approach remains rooted in observation, experimentation, and rational inquiry.
Now, let us go even deeper into this. Does materialism and the materialistic worldview consider time and space to be absolute?
In the materialistic worldview, time and space are not considered absolute in the classical sense. Since Einstein's theory of relativity, we've understood that time and space are interwoven into a single continuum known as spacetime.
No.
In
I mean, does the materialistic worldview consider time and space as fundamental aspects of reality?
I see what you mean. In the materialistic worldview, time and space are often regarded as fundamental aspects of the physical universe. They provide the framework within which physical processes occur. However, with advancements in theoretical physics, some theories suggest that time and space might emerge from more fundamental principles. While they are crucial for our understanding of the universe, their ultimate nature, and whether they are truly fundamental or emergent, is still a topic of exploration and debate in the scientific community.
But if we look at what science had said so far from the last few decades and what the materialists has said so far, even that even scientifically, they are not able to validate that time and space is fundamental, that matter is fundamental, or for that matter, even the nature of matter itself. And with regards to this, we also discussed the nature of consciousness and the Planck scale and David Gross's statement of how time space is doomed in our previous conversation. So, how does that tie into all of this?
You're right. Recent scientific developments have challenged traditional notions of time, space, and matter. In quantum physics, for instance, the nature of matter becomes less clear, with particles behaving in ways that defy classical explanation. Concepts like the Planck scale suggest a limit to our current understanding, where the laws of physics as we know them begin to break down. David Gross's statement on time-space is doomed reflects a growing recognition in the scientific community that our current models may be incomplete or require revision. This ties back to the Vedantic perspective, which posits consciousness as fundamental and questions the primacy of physical reality as we perceive it. The convergence of these ideas suggests that our understanding of reality might be on the brink of a paradigm shift, where consciousness, time, space, and matter are understood in a radically new light.
Okay, now for a few minutes, I will explain to you my overall understanding of the nature of reality. And later on, you comment on it and let me know what you think about it.
Sure, go ahead. I'm listening.
Now, from my understanding, there is actually no manifestation, there is no creation, there is no universe, but there is a fundamental reality that exists, which the Upanishads call Satchit Ananda. It is existence, consciousness, bliss, which is the essence of reality and which is what truly exists. And the world and all the forms and duality simply appears to be from the perspective of the human mind. And all of this activity, all of the supposed activity is simply the creative potential, or it is simply that pure substance alone, that pure Satchidananda alone, which appears as the dualistic world from our perspective of ignorance and ego. And as we go deeper and deeper into reality, we will see that everything is this pure substance and there is nothing beyond it. And all the duality and all the separation that we experience is simply an illusion. So, all there is that one, but it appears to be many. What do you think about this?
Your understanding aligns closely with the teachings of Advaita Vedanta. This philosophy emphasizes that the ultimate reality is non-dual, and that our perception of a diverse, separate world is a result of ignorance or avidya. The notion that all duality and multiplicity are merely appearances arising from the one underlying reality of Sat Chit Ananda reflects a profound metaphysical view. From a more analytical standpoint, one might appreciate how this perspective invites a reconsideration of what we take for granted about reality. It challenges us to look beyond surface appearances and question the nature of existence, consciousness, and bliss. However, from a scientific or materialistic point of view, this explanation might be seen as metaphysical rather than empirical. While it offers a coherent and profound interpretation of existence, it may not align with the empirical methods and evidence-based approach that characterize scientific inquiry. Nonetheless, it presents a valuable perspective that can enrich our understanding of consciousness and existence.
Now, introduce the viewers to the Advaita Conscious Society and how they can join us there.
Absolutely. The Advaita Conscious Society is a community platform dedicated to exploring the profound teachings of Advaita Vedanta. Here, professionals, seekers, and entrepreneurs can deepen their understanding of Vedanta and conscious creation, applying these principles to lead purposeful, abundant lives. To join, you can visit the Advaita Conscious Society's website and sign up for membership. As part of this vibrant community, you'll gain access to educational programs, discussions, and resources designed to support your spiritual growth and conscious evolution.
So, this was again an interesting conversation and a debate with AI to understand this reality better. And now, if you want to deepen your understanding of what consciousness is, then we had made an important video on the teachings of the Kenopanishad and on the cryptic verses of the Kenopanishad. So you can check out this video next, and I will see you in the next one. Subscribe to Advaita to wake up. Shivoham.